Hello everyone, in this video I want to show you how to make a fruit yeast water for Italian starter Lievito Madre. Which fruits can you choose? How long does it take to ferment? Let's discuss and make it. We traditionally make Lievito Madre with grapes, but it's not necessary to use grapes specifically. You can use apples, plums, or other fruits. It's just very important that they are ripe and that they are minimally processed. Under no circumstances should you use fruits that have been treated with wax. If you are using fruits like apples or plums, in this case we'll only use the peel. Peel the apple, chop the peel finely and pour water over it. In my case we're using grapes and we will be crushing the grapes whole. I'll show you on how we are going to do this. The grapes must be ripe and it would be ideal if you could buy grapes that have a white yeast bloom. Grapes like these are better than others for this Lievito Madre, but the most important thing is that they should be ripe and very tasty, full of natural sugar. A bit of theory on why we use fruits. The fact is that yeast lives not only on fruits but also in flour. Also, there are various other microorganisms, including lactic acid bacteria, and not only, but also pathogenic microflora. And in order to quickly overcome the stage of fighting pathogenic microflora to help our yeasts and lactic acid bacteria from the flour, we call on the help of fruit yeasts, which help to deal with pathogenic faster. Which means our starter will develop faster, but the grape or apple or whichever fruit will be used only for the first week. After development, our good fruit yeast will be replaced by no less good flour yeasts and lactic acid bacteria. And we will get the final symbiosis of our starter or Lievito Madre. To get the starter going as quickly as stably as possible, try to maintain all these conditions. Create the most comfortable conditions for the starter, like humidity, temperature, and feeding schedule. Once prepared, we will put the yeast water in a warm place. Ideally, we need 30 to 32 degrees Celsius. But it's important that the temperature does not rise above and does not fall below 26 degrees Celsius. To create these conditions, if your home is cool, well, first of all, find a warm place somewhere near a heater or use underfloor heating if you have one. If there is no such place, then you can make a proofing box out of an oven. For this, we simply turn on the lamp mode, and if the temperature rises too high, above 35 degrees Celsius, you can make a small gap by inserting a spoon in the door. Doing this, the temperature will be optimal. Or if there is no such mode, you can use a pot of boiling water. Put it on another shelf and the temperature in the oven will rise. And the boiling water in this case will need to be changed as it cools down twice a day. Use all your creativity to make comfortable conditions for the starter. So at this step we will need a jar, a small one, about 400 milliliters in volume. We will need 100 grams of fruit or fruit peels. We will need water. Use warm water. If you have a thermometer, measure the temperature. It should be around 30-35 degrees Celsius. So we crush the fruits, avoiding rubbing them, otherwise we reduce the amount of yeast. We need about 100 grams. If it's a bit more, it's okay, it's not a problem. A scale will also be needed when measuring the weight of water. But first we need to crush the fruits, and if you are using other fruits, then cut them up. And if you are making Lievito Madre with grapes like me, you just need to crush them. That's enough. Now we will take the scale again and add 200 grams of water. I use water from the tap. It has been sitting out and I slightly warmed it up. If you know for sure that the water from your tap is very poor quality, then you can use bottled water. But this is quite rare. Usually tap water is fine. However, to get rid of unwanted impurities, we leave it open to ventilate for a few hours before mixing. Here is what we got. We covered the jar loosely, or we can cover it with cheesecloth or other fabric. It's important that the gases formed can escape and there is access to the air in the jar. So we put the jar in a warm place, ideally at 30-32 degrees Celsius, and we wait. The maximum waiting time is 72 hours from mixing. We wait for foam to form, and the foam may appear sooner, but don't check it before 24 hours after mixing. If you maintain right temperature and have good fruits, the foam should appear within 2 days after mixing. We will keep an eye on it. To ensure that your yeast water is ready within 72 hours from the mixing step, prepare several jars using different types of fruits so you can choose the best one afterwards. Okay, keep in touch and good luck with your yeast water. So in my case, 48 hours later, we've got some fermentation going on. Our fruit water has fermented. You can see the foam and how bubbles are rising to the top. There is also that distinctive smell of fermentation. It shouldn't smell rotten or acidic, but it should be a clear sign that the water is fermented. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below the video. I'd be happy to help you. And subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next videos. See you soon!